I ain't gonna lie, this is one of my favorite channels on YouTube. I found them out when I was watching Rick and Morty, man.
The world of Toy Story is on the verge of an AI apocalypse. Yeah, when you look at how the rules of Toy Story work and how they'd apply to the new AI characters in Toy Story 5, well, let's just say that playtime's almost over. Hello internets, welcome to Film Theory, the show that's gonna play dead the moment the subscribe button shows up.
I'm not gonna lie, I gotta click subscribe, man. I don't know why I'm not already subscribed. This is a really good channel, y'all. They break down a lot of stuff, and I love their theories, I'm not gonna lie. Also, Toy Story 5, fire. It impressed me. I went in being a hater, left being a lover. I ain't gonna lie.
Jeez, there it is! So I want you to picture this. It's a cold November day in the mid-90s, and little baby Lee is going to the movies with his family. At this point in his life, he's probably not even aware of his surroundings, but what he is aware—
I think I know where he's going. He about to make a nostalgic twist to us growing up on Toy Story. You know what I mean? Like, I'm young, and I remember Toy Story 1 for sure.
Of just how much he loves this new movie they see. I am, of course, talking about Toy Story, Pixar's first feature-length animated movie, and one that changed movies forever. I mean, this was like the first—
I wasn't even born when that dropped. 1995 is crazy.
First fully 3D computer animated film ever, and that's the standard now. Then a few years later, Toy Story 2 hit, and Lee, now a little bit older and a little bit wiser—
4 years later, it's not a few, but all right, cool.
Right at the scene where Jessie gets left behind. It's just so sad, fam. Anyway, I tell you all about this because I literally grew up with Buzz, Woody, and the rest of the gang. Toy Story 3 actually hit at the perfect time where me and my friends were going off to college, so we were just like Andy. We were leaving a huge part of our childhoods behind, and here's this movie doing the exact same thing and pulling on our heartstrings and— what? No, I'm not crying. I'm not crying, you're crying. That was an absolutely perfect send-off for this series, and knowing Disney, they were absolutely willing to let the franchise rest from there, letting these characters metaphorically ride off into the sunset. Who am I kidding? Despite having the perfect ending, they kept milking this cow dry, baby. Yeah, we got the pretty okay Toy Story 4 a few years.
And all of those are probably excellent because it's the same animation, especially with AI even existing now. So I've watched Ask Questions with Forky. I think it's like Forky has a question. They're all funny. They're all good.
Years ago, and now, oh god, 30 years after Pixar released Toy Story, we're getting the latest installment in the series, Toy Story 5. And it looks like the toys are starting to feel—
They about to Fast and Furious this bad boy, ain't it?
their age here too, and not just because Woody has a bald spot here in the film. No, see, just like the other movies used their stories to teach us about growing up, about being separated from folks you love, and learning to be a family, and all that jazz, it looks like this new film is going to be dealing with a pretty serious topic. And what is that? How technology is replacing good, old-fashioned toys. Yeah, in this new film, the plot looks to center around Bonnie, the little girl who now has all the toys in this story, getting—
Her last name Anderson? I did not know that.
Computer tablet called a lily pad. And what happens when you give a small child a tablet like this? They inevitably become an iPad kid, playing brain rot games and watching brain rot slop instead of playing with her actual toys. Yeah, suddenly playtime is all about the lily pad.
Sorry I'm stopping so much, y'all, but they're so behind in this because think about this, right? We haven't even gotten to the part where kids are watching other kids play games, or kids are watching other kids play with toys. Kids watching other adults play video games. Kids are online talking to other kids through video games. Toy Story can keep going to at least probably like 10.
As her toys begin to collect dust. And though on the surface, that premise might just seem to be a cute story where the toys have to contend with a world that evolves with or without them, eventually finding a harmony with the lily pad that is trying to replace them, you dig just a little bit deeper. If you think about the implications of this iPad knockoff and this universe and what exactly it would be able to do, all of a sudden, it seems like the world of Toy Story is on the verge of an AI apocalypse. And if it is, what can we here in the real world learn from it? Well, Grab your action figures and smash them together, loyal theorists. Let's crash right into this one. When Toy Story first came out in '95, the idea of playtime revolved mostly around standard toys. You know, stuff like your dolls, action figures, Nerf guns, that sort of stuff. Thus, that's why the toys were so central to that story. Now, sure, TV was a thing, and there were some older video game consoles, like some of us 90 kids were absolutely clocking 8 hours a day trying to beat Donkey Kong Country 2, or the Elite Four, or just watching Saturday morning cartoons. But on the whole, Screen...
Y'all remember cartoons used to be on a certain day? Get your bowl of cereal in front of the TV with the big back on it. You watching this right now, and you have one of those big screen TVs with the huge back on it. And just drop a comment. Drop a tombstone comment. Drop a tombstone comment if you know what I'm talking about.
And screen time were still considered not as widespread or all-consuming. For real, in 1995, children aged to be in school only clocked about 3 hours of screen time a day. But now, that number's all the way up to 7.5 hours. This is mostly because of a generation of kids growing up with iPads and phones and getting most of their entertainment through those screens rather than traditional toys. Thing is, though, the way Andy was playing with his toys back in the 90s...
Which, that's not the kids' fault. That's the parents' fault. Parents can control what they do. There's lazier parenting than there ever has been ever. Because people are now putting the screen in front of their kids instead of Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels are still fun. Those tracks are just OD. Like, you build them up, do it. Parents aren't taking the time to play with their kids. That's the problem, bro. That's the issue.
'90s was really good for him. Playing pretend or making up scenarios where your dope Vegeta action figure has to fight Officer Woody on the Death Star or whatever is a creative outlet that lets children develop their imaginations and express themselves. It forms strong short-term memories and more flexible thinking and develops vocabulary and language skills. You know, all of that talking to yourself and voicing the characters or narrating the action. That's actually a surprisingly big part of childhood development. When a kid assigns a role to a toy, when they say that they're a hero or a villain or a bystander, they're sort of adopting that role themselves. They role play, which helps them learn how to deal with social dynamics or communication that they're not normally in.
See what I'm saying? So now this is I love that he's saying this, because you could tell people who's actually thought outside the box and who hasn't. And the people who don't think outside the box, they go to school and get, you know, just these terrible degrees that don't really mean much. And then they go get a job in the field that they don't even went to school for. You know what I mean? It's just this stuff like this to make you think outside the box. I'm not saying don't do your thing, but when you think about what you want to do in a vacuum, you can build upon that instead of what you should do from people who are not even doing it.
And it's all because they're pretending to be these characters and resolving conflicts with those characters. So basically, kids, if you want to keep playing after bedtime, just tell your parents that it's going to improve your social skills and schoolwork, because that's actually true. Now, that's not to say that technology can't enrich a childhood or help with someone's growth. I mean, there are plenty of programs and tools and creative spaces with tech that help you express yourself. There's thoughtful story content, puzzles, social platforms, and educational entertainment. I mean, just look at us. And that list goes on and on. There's plenty here to help children get that big brain and get healthy. But on the other side of the coin, there's also a sea of shallow slop. There's fast-paced content that doesn't let you breathe enough to grow. Reward-driven apps. Mindless interactions that only want you to engage with content. You know how a lot of folks say that a video is like pure dopamine, but it doesn't offer anything more than just making your brain happy? That's the sort of stuff we're talking about here. And though, yeah, sure, those videos of ice like breaking perfectly and making a really satisfying sound are fun, if you watch too much stuff like that, it can create an unhealthy cycle where you just swipe or watch and not much else. And that overuse of screen time, especially shallow screen time, during a childhood can make a lot of problems, enough to make frickin' Woody blush. We're talking sleep problems, attention disorders, impulse control, and hurting your development on an emotional, social, or intellectual way. It'll basically have you turning into Stinky Pete stuck in his box, you know? Now, will Disney be exploring that in Toy Story? Will they make this subject so black and white? Probably not, since Disney's trying to get a lot of that screen time from kids for themselves. And you know, actually, I wouldn't mind a little bit of that screen time for us here at Theorist for our brand new shows. How, you ask? Well, we have a brand new fan society over at Theorist soon. And those argument theorists of an episode who actually for other shows or try different topics. Like legit, YouTube will punish you if you do something that it thinks is outside of exclusive exact that we could just never really. So enter the Theoryverse at theoryverse.tv.
No.
Interesting because Toy Story isn't just exploring tech overtaking toys in early childhood. Nah, man, it's playing with the idea of tech replacing people in the workforce entirely. I mean, just think about it. LilyPad is being characterized like an AI agent here, isn't it? Something that's able to perform tasks, run programs, queue up content. If a toy's job is to keep a kid entertained, arguably, LilyPad is doing that faster and better than like a cowgirl doll or a Mr. Potato Head. After all, theoretically, LilyPad can do so much more than any of Bonnie's toys. She's more or less making them obsolete. She's taking their job. That mirrors what we're seeing here in the workforce, where AI is wiping out thousands of jobs. In the United States, it's estimated that AI is eliminating 16,000 jobs a month, and that might increase as the technology evolves. Man, it's scary and angering to see that number laid out like that. In the trailers, Woody even notes that toys are being abandoned more and more in his neck of the woods.
Is it as bad out there for toys as they say it is?
We're finding more abandoned toys each day.
And it's clear that they were being abandoned because households are taking tech and replacing the toys with it. Now, already that's not great. But when you really dig down into the lore of the Toy Story world and how it works, well, the presence of the LilyPads does offer even darker story potential, like a threat to the entire Toy Story universe. A while back, we actually did a theory about the implications of Forky gaining life in Toy Story 4. Like, in this world, anything can be given life just because they're a toy. Every toy in this world has a mind, intelligence, they can make choices. They're what we call sentient. They're like self-aware little people. And Forky proves that you didn't need to be created at a magical toy factory or mystical sweatshop or anything like that. Bonnie was able to make this little piece of silverware alive just by sticking googly eyes on it. Thank goodness it's plastic. Like, could you imagine if it was like a metal knife inadvertently come to life? But put that aside and just think about this in the terms of our real world. Creating an artificial mind that is able to think and is aware of itself is something that scientists and programmers have been chasing for a long time. And it's something that we still haven't been able to do. Yeah, all of the AI programs you've heard about these days, like ChatGPT or Claude or Grok, are technically impressive, even if they have a lot of moral problems, but they have limitations. They're basically what we call large language models, and though they can learn, they still aren't alive. They aren't self-aware, and it's very easy to get them to make mistakes or to trip them up. I mean, most of these AI tools can't spell strawberry.
How many R's are in strawberry?
Strawberry has 2 R's.
But that probably wouldn't be the case here in Toy Story. If toys automatically become sentient, and we're in an era where technology like this is integrated into toys, where tech like the LilyPads are the toys that these iPad kids are playing with, well, it must make sense that this tech will gain a mind of its own. And worst of all, this is going to be a complete...
It already does, though. I don't want to give away the movie. Spoiler alert. Fast forward past this. The LilyPad already turns evil and then kicks them out and then turns good again.
secret to the adults in this world. The technology they're placing into the hands of these kids is gaining true artificial intelligence, not through advanced programming or anything like that, but through a weird law of nature that controls all of the toys in this universe. And what's worse, if LilyPad is any indication, they're also going to have full access to all of their technological capabilities. And they're going to be able to do things they weren't programmed to do. Like, check this. The LilyPad basically has unrestricted access to information and tech tools in the countless households it's in. And it's able to see and hear everything.
I'm always listening.
It also looks like it can connect with other LilyPads on the internet, and maybe other random devices on its Wi-Fi network. And as we see in the Toy Story 5 trailer, the LilyPads can plot and scheme. They use everything at their disposal against their enemies, and they can bypass their original programming to pursue their own goals. It has a terrible amount of influence over the life of the children using it, man. Even if If our lovable gang of toys managed to strike a truce with the lily pad in Bonnie's bedroom, well, there are still thousands, maybe millions of other lily pads out there with the same capabilities. There are these scheming AI lurking in every household, poised to shape the minds of an entire generation. If they all start chatting and decide to take over, it might take a hot minute, but they could literally brain rot the whole world. Maybe we shouldn't have been as worried about the toy uprising and should have focused all that energy on AI. I mean, the toys seem to be the ones fighting back against it. Now, this might seem like we're headed into tinfoil hat territory, but the idea of AI evolving like this right under our noses isn't too far out of the realm of possibility. The AI company Anthropic ran a study to see what many of the popular AI models were capable of, and some of them would resort to unethical tactics like blackmail and threats to leak information to get what they wanted. It's not terrifying at all. Another company called Palisade AI also ran an experiment where AI models were told to shut off after they completed their tasks, but the AI would rewrite some of its code to stay online. No one programmed these AI models to blackmail people or defy their programming, but they're doing it themselves anyway. Yeah, even though humans built these AI models, like the lily pads here in Toy Story, there are times where we don't really know what's going on under the hood. This is called the black box problem, and that basically means that we can see what information is going into these AI, and we can see what information is coming out of them, but we don't really know what's going on inside of the AI. We don't exactly know the internal reasoning or how they make their decisions, so it can make the AI unpredictable, which we don't want for these tools, right? Heck, we might already have an idea of what this looks like long term, thanks to another Pixar film, WALL-E. You know how that film is about a supposedly mindless trash compactor robot that develops a glitch, a quirky personality that's uniquely WALL-E, and that's why when Eve reassembles WALL-E, at first he loses all of that personality until the happy ending kicks in, and something happens inside of WALL-E's AI that gets that programming back? Well, that's just like this black box problem. And that's just the nice cute robot here, none of the darker AI in that movie. Huh. You know, maybe Toy Story and WALL-E are more connected than I thought. Is there a world where we do our own version of the Pixar theory? But I'm getting off track. So what's the solution here? The AI in the world of Toy Story seem poised to take over, to take the jobs of the toys and take control of everything. So where do they go from here? Well, Jessie and Woody can't really just shove Lilypad in a closet or smash the screen. That technology is here to stay and it's only going to get better. No, the secret here, the solution is going to be finding a way to coexist with this technology, to carve out a space where the toys can still do their work and make their child happy, help them grow like we talked about earlier in the theory, while also putting a hard limit on what this tech can and can't do. Almost sounds like what we should be doing here in the real world, huh? Like, this episode was written and recorded before the movie came out, but it seems inevitable that the story of Toy Story 5 is gonna end in some kind of truce, right? A message that promotes balance and understanding, and the truth that both the new and the old are valuable and have something to offer. To tell us that both toys and technology can work together towards a common goal of making the world a better place, you know, instead of destroying it. The squad of special edition Buzz Lightyears might actually represent the harmony between toys and tech in the film, since they're traditional toys integrated with some new technological features. And that's the best outcome I see for all of us, really. Just like these toys, nobody wants or needs a world where the AI is doing all of the thinking for us. We don't want them to make our art or to give us answers while burning down nature to do it.
Speak for yourself. I think I do appreciate a little bit of help. Like, I like anime. I know anime, avid OG anime watchers. We used to hate when they take mad seasons off. I foresee a future where that don't happen no more. We can keep on going.
Art is a uniquely human ability, and I don't know about you, but I don't want AI slop filling up all of my feeds. I don't want it controlling what I see and therefore what I think, right? Instead, we should be making a world where we're able to take this technology and use it to actually improve human life and work instead of replacing it. And let me just say, you don't need a data center to tell you that. But hey.
Listen, I feel like this video of film theory was kind of a hoax. But it was a foreshadowing. They ain't watched the movie. That's why they didn't really break nothing down. Ain't no theory in this, man. Anybody can say that off top without even watching the movie. They didn't even have to use Toy Story for this. This is just for views, y'all. But if you like this video, click here or here for the next one. Watch some more videos with me, man. I know you got some time on your hands, man. You probably on lunch break right now, man. Tap in. I got you, big dog. You ain't got to be alone. See you in the next one. Hit that subscribe button.